Axie Infinity. Whether you've fallen in love with the adorable creatures or you've got that fiery competitive spirit burning in your heart, this series will give you all of the tools that you need to start competing at a high level. The first thing you'll need to do is go to axieinfinity.com and click the Play for Free button. From there, simply download and install the Mavis Hub 2.0. This will be a quick and easy process. Now you'll need to create an account so that you can log in. Click Register Now. Input the email you would like to use, and check your email for the code they present to you. Copy the code into the box, click Allow, and now you'll be able to set up the rest of your account. For now, all you need to do is set up your password. Now you'll be able to log in using your new credentials, click on Axie Infinity Origins, and install the program. And after that short registration period, you're ready to start playing. Now, the first thing you'll need to do is choose your in-game name here. Now you'll be presented with some tutorials. I highly recommend playing through these tutorials as they will give you a great understanding of the user interface. After completing the tutorials, you'll be presented with the single player progression mode. Now you will need to complete at least level 6 to start playing PvP mode, but I highly recommend going through the entire single player option as you will unlock more free-to-play Axies as well as in-game assets. Assets like moon shards, which you can collect through the foraging tab every single day, and the amount that you collect is directly correlated to how far you've progressed through the single player mode. These moon shards are extremely important for crafting, so definitely keep this in mind. Now, once you've completed the single player mode, you should have racked up quite a few moon shards, so it's a great idea to start crafting right away. That way you can power up your Axies with some nice runes and charms. You can equip these runes and charms by clicking on the team editor and clicking on the Axie you'd like to equip. These power-ups are extremely important for having a cohesive team strategy. You may be a bit limited in your options at first, but a good rule of thumb is to have power in the back and health and healing in the front. This will ensure that you don't lose your frontliner Axie too early, as well as making sure you have enough power to finish out the match. Your Axie's potential points determine what kind of charms you can attach to that Axie. The potential points are determined by the Axie purity, whether it is a beast Axie with full beast parts or a plant Axie with parts from all sorts of classes. Charms of a specific class, for example bug charms, need to be attached to bug cards using bug potential points. And the more powerful a charm is, the more potential points it'll use. But neutral charms can be attached using potential points from any Axie class. Alright, with your Axies fully powered up, let's hop into our first PvP match. Let's choose practice so we're not going up against anything too intense. Now there are some major differences between single player mode and PvP. I'll go through each one as they come up, the first of which being turn choice. There are a few differences between going first and going second, which are put into place to ensure that the person who goes first doesn't have too big of an advantage over the player going second. Which one you want to choose will likely depend on your team strategy, but it won't make too big of a difference until you're competing at the highest level. You can also look at your opponent's team and choose a turn preference specifically to counter their strategy. In situations where both players choose the same turn preference, a quick game of rock, paper, scissors will decide the victor. Now, the biggest difference between single player mode and PvP is the energy burst system. You will notice that you start off with a maximum of 3 energy, but you can actually gain extra energy throughout the match by collecting energy fragments. Energy fragments are collected anytime you spend energy on an action, whether that be for a shield card, an attack card, or even to retain a card for the following turn. Some cards even allow you to gain extra energy fragments or steal energy fragments away from your opponent to help you get to that energy burst faster and have an advantage in the late game. Now, before playing any cards, the first thing I like to do is click on each of my opponent's Axies. This will give me their full card list as well as each charm attached to those cards to get a good idea of the capabilities of this team. Afterwards, I'll go ahead and spend my energy for that turn. You can actually see my energy counter go up. I have 1 fragment out of 15. Now on each player's first turn, they actually have the ability to retain a card for the next turn for free. So I always like to take advantage of this feature to ensure card consistency in my following turn. But remember, because we are still in the alpha period of this game, some of these mechanics are subject to change. For example, just in the process of making this video, an announcement has been released that states in the next update, the keep function will actually use energy fragments as opposed to actual energy. This is a huge change. To ensure that you're staying up to date with all of the changes in the ecosystem, make sure to go to blog.axieinfinity.com and subscribe with your email address. Now that should be all of the information you need to start making some informed decisions in a PvP match. But with a team of only starter Axies, you might find yourself a bit limited. Each starter Axie has some very unique cards that you won't find on any other Axie, and it's definitely not unheard of to see a starter Axie at the higher end of the leaderboard, depending on the season. And these teams typically use regular Axies alongside one of their starter Axies to maximize the efficiency of their strategy. So if you want to compete at a high level, you're going to need to get your hands on some more Axies. And to do this, we're going to need a Ronin wallet. So the next 2 videos in the series will get you familiarized with the Ronin wallet and all of the tools that it offers. I'll see you there.